Hi there, this is Teri from stampinmagic.com. Welcome back to my channel. Today's project is this lovely card. It's a top folding standard size card. I've used some of our glossy white cardstock and heat embossed the image onto it. Then I've sponged the background. And finally I ran it through the Big Shot with one of our embossing folders. I'm going to use Stampin' Up's stamp positioning tool, the Stamper Artist, today to do all my stamping. This large image comes from the Dandelion Wishes stamp set, and my sentiment comes from the Detailed with Love. Now I'm going to put the stamp cases under my plates to ensure that they're level. This makes the stamps much easier to ink up each time. I'm using VersaFine ink. Now this ink stays wet for quite a long time, so it's perfect for embossing. I like to use a black ink and then emboss with clear. I have a piece of glossy white cardstock, and this measures 7 centimeters by 9.5 centimeters. And I'm just using my embossing buddy to remove any static that's on there. Then I'll position it onto the platform and anchor it with one of the magnets. Then all I have to do is ink up my stamp and stamp it. The main reason I'm using the Stamper Artist is because I'm using the glossy white cardstock today. Because the surface is shiny, it's possible that the stamps can slip when you stamp manually. So using the Stamper Artist stops any chance of this happening. And also, if you need to, you can easily and quickly double stamp an image if it's necessary. Next, cover with clear embossing powder. And then melt the powder with your heat gun. Make sure you do this thoroughly, otherwise you'll get smudges when you start sponging the background. For the sponging I'm using 3 colours: soft seafoam, petal pink and balmy blue. I'm using separate sponges for each colour. You can get these from Stampin' Up, and they come in packs of 3, and all I do is cut them either into quarters or sixths and then attach them to a punched out shape. I'm going to start with the soft seafoam ink. So I'm picking up some ink from the pad and I'm just going to work that into the cardstock. And because it's glossy cardstock, the inks blend really quickly and easily. So I'm just applying it with small circular motions just to help blend that onto the bottom third. Then I'm going to use petal pink ink, and again just using circular motions, blend that onto the cardstock and also slightly into the soft seafoam. So I'm going back in again with some of the soft seafoam just to darken that slightly, and then I'm going to switch to the balmy blue. Apologies for going slightly off screen here, but I'm just using the same circular motions just to work that into the card and blend it slightly with the petal pink. And then I'm going over each layer again just to darken it up slightly, make sure it's fully blended. The next thing we need to do is emboss the image panel, and I'm using our new tufted embossing folder. Now this is a dynamic folder, so the sandwich you need is slightly different to normal. You don't need the adapter plate on the platform, you just need the bottom of the platform. Then you need to use 1 acrylic plate. So add your image inside the folder, cover with 1 plate and then run it through the Big Shot. Now we can start putting the card together. This first layer measures 7.3 centimeters by 9.8 centimeters, and it's in our basic black. and this will go behind our image panel. Once that's done, we'll add dimensionals to the reverse. I'm using half a sheet of petal pink cardstock for my base card. My designer series paper, also in petal pink, comes from the Subtle 6" by 6" pack, and this measures 9.5 centimeters by 14 centimeters. The black layer measures 9.8 centimeters by 14.3 centimeters. Now you will find all the measurements you need to produce this card, both in metric and imperial, in the corresponding blog posts on my blog, and I'll put a direct link to this in the description below. Once you've layered the two pieces together, remove the backings from the dimensionals on the image section and then position that towards the top left. I'm going to add some ribbon to the bottom half of the card to balance the design, and I'm using our black shimmer ribbon. I've cut a small length and I'm going to secure that in place using some of our tear and tape. I always cut away any excess from the reverse and then add additional strips of the tear and tape just to make sure it's fully secure. This section can then be glued onto the front of the base card. I'm going to add a basic pearl to the centre of each of the dandelions, and then using another small length of ribbon, I'm just going to tie a knot onto the right hand side. I thought I would show you how I finished off the inside of this card. Now I have a white layer which measures 10 centimeters by 14.4 centimeters. I have a small black layer that's 10 centimeters wide and a piece of designer series paper that matches the front of the card that is also 10 centimeters wide and 2 centimeters deep. So I'm layering the designer series paper onto that black strip, just so you've got a tiny piece of black showing at the top, and then I'm going to trim that down to 2 centimeters. Then I shall add this completed strip to the bottom of my white mat and then position it inside the card. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this project. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe and press that notifications bell so you don't miss out on any future projects. Bye for now.